Hello engineers, welcome back to my channel and I welcome you all to a brand new playlist on system design. This playlist is going to be jam-packed with knowledge. There's going to be a ton of stuff that we're going to be discussing. I've created a roadmap from the collection of a lot of books, blogs, YouTube videos, articles and whatnot. So I hope you're ready. Let's get started. Welcome back, engineers. The system design universe is actually quite large and it's constantly evolving because the new technologies are coming up every single day, and there are a lot of new concepts that are coming out every single day. So I've created a roadmap for us so that we can cover as many topics of system design as possible. I have curated a roadmap for us by reading some books, blogs, articles, and a lot of YouTube videos, and also from my personal experience of building software systems, right? So the first book I took upon is this one, which is Designing Data Intensive Applications by Martin Klipman. Fantastic book, lot of depth in this one. And then we have System Design Interview by Alex Zhu. Fantastic book again, lot of problem statements covered in this. And then there is another book I read online, which is Fundamentals of System Architecture by Neil Ford and Mark Richards. Again, a fantastic book. It helps you think about our system architecture in terms of quantas and how to divide the systems using coupling and cohesion. So these are some fantastic books, and I've put together a roadmap. Let's go through it now. So in this playlist, we're going to cover some core concepts of system design. We're going to look at a single server setup, a load balancer, what are databases, types of databases, how we would do scaling, and how we would do sharding. And then we're going to think about database replication in terms of backup and master-slave concepts. We're going to see how we're going to get consensus among these systems. We're going to talk about quorums. We're going to see how distributed transactions is quite challenging and see how we can solve that issue. And then we're going to look at some optimization, caching, CDNs, Redis. And then we're also going to look at API gateways, stateless web tier, data centers as a topic, message queues, which are very useful in event-driven systems. We're going to talk about proxy, reverse proxy, and some other networking concepts. We're going to look at some network protocols. We're going to talk about WebSockets. We're going to talk about data formats. We're going to see the common JSON, and we're going to look into protocol buffers. We're going to see the differences between REST, GraphQL, and RPC. We're going to talk about clocks. These are very interesting topics: vector clocks, network clocks, and how they help us achieve, synchronization between servers in a distributed system. We're going to look at containerization as a topic, and we're going to see some orchestration tools and how orchestration works in general. We're going to look at MapReduce, one of the most commonly used tools. We're also going to look at cap theorem, Passel theorem, and then we're going to look at some numbers to think about estimations of large scale systems. We're going to see how data is measured in terms of gigabytes, megabytes, petabytes, and so on. We're going to see how latency is measured in terms of queries per second and so on. We're going to look at availability numbers and throughput numbers. We're going to go through all these numbers and estimation techniques. And then we're going to look at some interesting algorithms and techniques. We're going to look at some popular ones, the geohash, quad trees used in mapping solutions. We're going to look at Paxos and Raft, consistent hashing, Bloom filters, Merkle trees, tries, B trees and LSM trees, which are fundamentals in databases, and operational transformation. And then we're going to move on to discuss operational characteristics. We're going to look at operational characteristics, structural characteristics, cross-cutting characteristics. All these are very important to understand so that we can think like an architect and think like a system designer who is capable of thinking of trade-offs among all these different topics and make the right decision. And then we're going to look at architecture styles. We're going to see layered architecture, pipeline, microkernel, which is the plugin architecture. We're going to see service-based, event-driven, space-based, service-oriented, and also microservices and serverless. We're going to see how these topologies differ in terms of system design, and they all have their pros and cons, and we're going to see when to choose which one. And we're going to talk about quantas, choosing the right architecture style, and then how architecture decisions can make an impact on our overall system design. So we're going to talk through all of these. And then finally, we're going to pick up some problem statements that are commonly asked in interviews, or the apps that we see and use in general in our everyday life. We're going to take up these common apps, and if time permits, we're going to add some more, right? So think of these apps as recipes. They are solutions that are already out there, and we're going to study them and see how we can use them in our own system designs, right? So jam-packed playlist, it's going to be a long one, I feel. So I'm not sure if I'll keep this roadmap as it is. Maybe I'll add some more as I go along the way. The order may be different, but I'm sure I'll cover as many topics as possible. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I welcome you back to my channel. So with that introduction, let's get started, and I will quickly see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.